Hello my friends, welcome to the start of another reading vlog adventure. This is going to be another installment of the search for the diamonds in the rough. And for this kind of new installment, we have a perfect book for the spooky season. It's got some witches working together to take down some dark magic, and that is Sweet and Bitter Magic. This one, I believe, just came out a couple months ago, or maybe last year. I'm not sure exactly. I think it might have been actually last year. I don't know. But I looked on Goodreads and it has under 5,000 ratings. But since it has under 5,000 ratings, I consider this a possible diamond in the rough, and that is what the journey of this whole video is going to be. It's going to be me exploring the pages and understanding and determining whether this fits the bill or not. So I just started this last night and I'm about 100 pages in, and it's been pretty fast paced. Like everything has been, I don't know if it's just like the writing style or what, but like I've just been flying through it, and I don't think it'll take me long because I think it's only like 300 pages, and if in a little amount of time, like I'm already about 100 pages in, that might say something about it, because I do enjoy what's going on with it and kind of the characters and just like the whole synopsis, the plot that's kind of centered around these two witches. But basically this is following two different perspectives. We have Tamsin, who is kind of like this witch that has been expelled from this academy, which is kind of like the university for all the different witches, or kind of like a school for all the witches where they learn their skills and they go about their business after they either have two paths where they can kind of do work for the coven, I believe, or kind of leave the lands and kind of go and do their own route. But the academy was kind of put in place after this one dark witch kind of put them through the dark days, I believe. And because of this, all the witches are then found and kind of put into this academy to kind of harness their abilities in a better sense so that they don't go back to the darker days. And because of some certain circumstances, Tamsin was expelled from the school, and she now kind of works in a tiny village for the surrounding townsfolk. But they all come to her kind of seeking different things, whether kind of healing, babies, or sicknesses, anything. But she demands a heavy price, and that price is love. She was expelled with a curse, and that curse is she is not able to love. So she demands everybody to pay in love. But it was explained in the beginning that she's a very powerful witch, and she is kind of not like the others, essentially kind of that trope a little bit, not like the other witches. But then that other perspective is Ren, who is a source, and I believe that the sources kind of work hand in hand with the witches to kind of harness and increase their abilities, their powers. But she has the ability to kind of see the magic kind of flowing around, and I do like that about kind of the book so far, is kind of seeing how these different colors have different abilities with the magic, and she is kind of not able to harness it, but she can see it. But she stays at home with her father, who is sick all the time. She devotes all her time to taking care of her father. She has wanted to escape in the past, but she has kind of not chose that path for herself. She's hid from the academy because, like if I mentioned, they kind of seek out all the different sources and witches and put them into the academy to train them so no more dark witches kind of pop up. But she's hid because her mom died from the last kind of dark days from the dark witch, and she's kind of been scarred by that, and she's just kind of on the fence of going but not. So she's kind of just stayed at home and took care of her father. And then a new memory loss plague kind of starts spreading throughout the kingdom, and that means that some dark magic is going down once again, and a new dark witch has rose, and the academy has kind of put out a bounty for this dark witch, and the reward is anything they shall desire. So together, Ren and Tamsin are going to work together to bring down this dark witch. But so far it's been really interesting. I like just the characters, how we have kind of like the grumpy Tamsin, who is kind of just always bleh, and she's not able to love, so she kind of sees things different from Ren, who's just kind of devoted her whole life to her father and just giving out her love for her father, which actually kind of plays a role into kind of their friendship, or not so much friendship in the beginning, but kind of their deal that they make with each other, without going into detail, like spoiling wise. And then I do like the setup as well, kind of like this new plague that's spreading, and it's a memory loss plague. And it's like, I don't know if a lot of witch books are like this, because I haven't read a lot, but I do just like how it's kind of set up as them kind of working together, if that makes sense. I don't know, I'm probably not making sense at all, but I assume this is also going to be an enemies to lovers, because it was kind of hinted at that this was like a sapphic romance. So we'll see where that goes, but that is kind of the first reading check-in, the first leg of this adventure to discover if this is a diamond in the rough. So stay tuned and I'll be checking in very soon. Hello, it is time for an update on how this journey is going. I am about halfway through Sweet and Bitter Magic, and so far it has been really slow, I gotta say. It has mostly been just the journey of Tamsin and Ren kind of making their way to the wood and then crossing the wood into the within to kind of get to the academy where all the other witches are gathering for this kind of bounty for the hunt for the evil witch. And just that whole way has just been so slow, and it's just, I guess it's been kind of like a character kind of journey and development. Kind of both of them have kind of darker past or kind of things going on in their past that have affected them in like the present time, and they're kind of just uncovering the past slowly together as they kind of make their way through the queendom. This is actually a queendom. I said kingdom earlier, but it's not. It's a queendom, which is cool. But they're both kind of going on this journey as they uncover a little bit more about themselves. Like Ren is the sweet and the kind of innocent one, and she is just kind of like experiencing everything for the first time because she had to stay at home to take care of her father who was ill, and so she hasn't seen any of this. So she is just kind of the innocent one, and she just wants to give help to everyone. And then Tasman is kind of the bitter one, the Sweet and Bitter Magic. You see what I did there? But you see what the author did there. But Tamsin, like, she really has kind of a dark past. As kind of like I mentioned earlier, she was essentially banished from the within where all the other witches kind of gather, and then she was kind of had the curse put on her. So she really has a dark past. And there's kind of like this element of this kind of diary, her sister's diary, that kind of follows her around, and slowly as she kind of is making her way closer to the within, like the diary kind of gives her passages in her sister's diary to read, and she's slowly starting to uncover just the truth about what was going on between her and her sister. And let me tell you, they have got to have had the worst communication skills between each other ever. Like, it is terrible. Like, it said that earlier they were really close, and then slowly in the diary it kind of explained how they kind of separated a little bit, but they were on two different spectrums. Like, in the beginning kind of explained Tasman's kind of side of things, and then we're slowly starting to get more of the diary, and they really need to just sit down and talk with each other and kind of get on board with some things, because they were not on the same wavelength. I was really hoping for like more of the world. Like, we got to this one point as they're making this long journey to the wood where they were gonna have to go like into the caves under this mountain to kind of cross this one valley. And there was mention of kind of like some giant spiders and stuff like that, and bandits. And we did encounter some bandits, but it wasn't like I was expecting, and it was really just kind of a letdown because it really hinted at some cool things, and then it kind of didn't expand on it. And I was really bummed about that because they were cool things. So I really am hoping for more of the world. I do like kind of like this aspect of there's like this boundary of trees that's called like the wood, and then the witches are the only ones who are permitted to pass through the wood. And then once you pass through it, you get into the within, which is kind of like the witchlands, as the kind of everyone else calls them. So I do like that, and I like the world, but it just needs a little bit more, like a little sprinkle of some other stuff going on. But I like kind of this little character journey and seeing how they're growing. It's sometimes like it reads really young, like Ren's chapters, her perspectives, really, because she's kind of just like, I don't want to say so much dull, but she just kind of is putting herself in danger, it seems like, at times, and that's kind of annoying. But I don't know, the whole time it's been young, and since I'm about halfway, I was expecting a little bit more of the romance to kind of spark between them. but it really kind of hasn't hinted at much, sadly. But I don't know, we'll see where it goes. I'm hoping that it improves here in the future and we get a little bit more, as they're kind of got their bounty and now they're gonna go after the evil witch. And that was another thing, like I would kind of, from the beginning, I knew who the evil witch was gonna be from like the things that were hinted, and then I was right. So I don't know, we'll see where this goes, especially how it has kind of impacted both of their pasts and kind of how it will play out in the end. But we'll see where it goes as we journey further into kind of this quest for a diamond in the rough. I'll be checking in here pretty soon. It is time for the final check-in for this quest for a diamond in the rough. And for this one, we were looking to see if sweet and bitter magic kind of fit the bill. And ooh, I was so disappointed by this. So like it was so boring to me. Like it hurt, like it just hurt. I almost like didn't finish it because like it was just like a long journey of just the two characters, Ren and Tamsin, just walking across this queendom to get to one place, and then that was just one final fight where the magic was only used during that time. Like it was the only time that it really kind of showed itself. Like throughout the journey, like there was a little bit of kind of the magic use where they were kind of lighting candles and stuff like that and summoning food, but other than that, like it wasn't there until that final battle. And I really liked where it was going in that final battle, like how it was used and everything. And that was it. Like after the final battle, it did another like 50 pages of just where it was dragging out like the aftermath of that final battle, and like it was just so boring, like the whole thing. But just I hate saying this about like books because like it almost like in the beginning, like I was really intrigued with like the world and everything going on, and then just after that it just went downhill. Like I don't like, it was just them kind of walking and learning about each other, and that really disappointed me because like it was just so like it just repeated the same stuff after a while. Like even along the way, like when it hinted at some other things that would have happened, like some spiders, some giant spiders or bandits or anything like that, it would just barely touch on those things or kind of skip over them in general, and then it would just continue with them kind of walking and talking, and it just like it got annoying, and like it was just completely boring. And I hate saying this about books, but like I mentioned, like it had it all there. Like I like the within, the kind of concept of kind of the within was kind of like the witchlands, and there was kind of like this academy where all the witches kind of had to kind of go to learn how to use their magic power like correctly. And I liked just like the magic that was kind of involved in that final battle and everything. Like it had it all in there within the blueprints. But then like it just wasn't executed for my taste. Like this might be perfect for you, and I do recommend that you kind of check it out. But just like for me, like it was just completely boring, and I didn't like it, sadly. And even kind of like the romance, like I saw this on a couple different recommendations for kind of just romance fantasy books, and it really wasn't there. Like I don't know, like they kind of along the way they slowly, like a really slow burn, like really. And then there at the end, kind of in that aftermath, it really kind of showed. But like I was expecting it to play a little bit bigger role, especially for how much they kind of talked and learned about each other along this journey. But it really wasn't there, sadly. But like this might be perfect for you, so I definitely recommend you check it out. But for me, it wasn't. And my final rating, I think I'm going to give it like a 2.5 stars. And to be a diamond in the rough, in my opinion, it had to fit the bill of 3.5, so sadly it wasn't for me. Definitely give it a look and give it a try, but yes, it was really disappointing. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm done talking crap about it. Like even before like recording this, I was like, I can't do this, like, because if you know me, like I hate talking crap about books, so this was tough. Like getting on here and talking about it, like it has taken a couple days for me to build up the courage and come on here and give you my honest opinion. So please don't go too hard on me, like this is tough. But that is all for this video. I really hope you enjoyed this another installment in kind of the quest for the diamonds in the rough. If you have any ideas for books that might kind of be another adventure in the future, please let me know down in the comments below. But I hope you'll have a splendid day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next adventure. So please consider liking and subscribing so you never miss out. But I'm going to leave you, as always, with a message from Ellie, who said that adventure is out there. So I'll catch you next time. Bye.